What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of I Put All My Skill Points into Strength and Absolutely Zero into Charisma. So let's see how a large mammal operates within the world for a day. Why did that get me out of breath? Anyways, today we've got a priming day where it's kind of like the foreplay for the rest of the week, where we're getting ready to, it's basically like a day of warm-up for the rest of the week. So we got some heavy lifts coming up this week. Last week we finished off with a 1845 training total for sets of at least 4, because we only did quadruples on deadlifts, but we did 725 for a set of 5. We did 485 for a set of 5, or 725 on squat, 45 on bench, and then 640 on deadlift for a set of 4. But we got our breakfast here, little brekkies, and I wonder if he thinks any of that's for him. We've got 180 grams of beef, 3 eggs, and 2 bagels. And I'm supposed to have 40 grams of honey with that, but I can't find my honey anywhere, which means it's probably gotten thrown away. So I put some maple syrup on it. I made a huge mess, and I don't have any napkins or paper towels. So we're kind of gonna go about it like how everyone goes about eating ribs, where there's no way you're going to be clean while eating ribs. So, bite the pillow, go in raw, and clean up afterwards. And after I eat, I go for a 10-minute walk with a little Budster. Right, Bud? Bud, I don't want to show my feet. What are you sniffing? But it's raining outside. Pretty bad. Like, notice how it's even pooling a little bit on the ground there. So, I'm going to go on an adventure somewhere. Maybe to a Crocs. Oh, the rain's picking up, and I hear the thunder. I'm gonna try and find a Crocs store, because I have gotten a job, and I'm not allowed to wear Crocs at work. I wear Crocs every time I do Uber Eats, but I'm going into the corporate world again. Corporate? I'm not gonna give any extra details on whether or not it's actual corporate, but I think I found some Crocs. Some breathable Crocs, because my feet get very hot throughout the day, and I hate socks because socks are toe prisons. So I think I found some Crocs that I might be able to wear to work that look like regular shoes, but they're not. It's I think it's like Light Right 360 Pacer, I think is the shoe. We're gonna see if the local Crocs store has them. If not, we're gonna go to a local grocery store, because I need to pick up some cheese slices. I need to pick up some coffee creamer, bagels. So we're not going to be able to take Buddy on a walk today, but we've got a lot of things that we can do today before we go to the gym, because you gotta be ready to go to the gym in order to go to the gym. So I'm gonna go do that. Market basket. I thought I got more groceries than that, and yes, I do have hardwood floors in my car. Alright, so what did we end up getting? Because of course you go into the grocery store and you have a list of items that you need to pick up, and then while you're walking around, your brain goes, oh, you also need that. So we got a week and a half worth of bagels, a week and a half worth of crumpets, probably 2 weeks worth of honey, a bottle of Fairlife fat-free milk, 24 slices of cheese, and about a week's worth of coffee creamer. And it was $32. So talking in time frames, because everything's expensive, and yeah, I wish the economy would use a little bit more lube, but tears count as lube too, right? All right, homies, we got pre-training food. We've got the bowl, and in the bowl we've got 215 grams of Walmart brand Cinnamon Toast Crunch and 16 ounces of Fairlife fat-free milk. Very nice. So last time I didn't have a really good showing as to how the animal blueberry acai flavor tasted, because I didn't have a shaker cup. And if you've ever been in the gym and you've tried to make your protein without a shaker cup, you'd have a better time masturbating with sandpaper. So we got it, and it looks a little lumpy, but it's very frothy. So I don't know if the frothiness is gonna impede it, because I just shook it up and it got to the point where it wasn't like, you know, when you clean your shaker cup and you're cleaning like with the soap in there, like you can hear it's not really shaking around a little bit, because it's getting pretty frothy. So we'll see how it goes. 50 grams. That's pretty good. The mixing method definitely changes the experience. If you couldn't tell, if you watched my previous video and this one, that's like it tasted like, it's like a, not like, it's like if they tried to make cough syrup taste good. So it's probably like a 7 out of 10. Not too good, not too bad, but also I don't think there's a protein that is a 10 out of 10. So pretty solid. I would suggest the usage, because I enjoyed it, at least this time. Make sure you got a shaker cup, homies. You ever tell yourself, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna eat this meal and I'm gonna watch something real quick and then I'm gonna get going, and then you end up watching a 3-hour 120 shine speed run of Super Mario Sunshine, and you said you were only gonna watch 20 minutes of it. Yeah, so it's dark out. It's much later than I would have liked to be out, and we're on our way to the gym. And what, you dare ask, my sweet summer children, is on the plan today? I already said, the priming day. It's the foreplay for the rest of the week. It's the accessory day that we have to do before the rest of the week, because we got to limber up. It's what was it? Performance potentiation, I think is the phrase. We're loading up the muscles to kind of like get them ready and primed, and then we do the heavier stuff the rest of the week. And then also it's a lot of maintenance work to make sure that our muscles are healthy and elastic so that we can perform at an optimal level. So I just left home, right? And my roommate, I mentioned the whole Olympic boxing fiasco that's going on, and she starts hammering into me, being like, you think that you can have an opinion on trannies competing in the Olympics? And I'm like, hold on, she's not a tranny. And then just started laying into me, where's the birth certificate? Where's this? And I'm like, all right, here's a video of the dad presenting the birth certificate online, and the IOC statement and stuff like that. And really, it brought up a lot of the struggles that I had in college, because they didn't go to college, but they were my roommates when I was in college, if that makes any sense, because I was young and stupid, and I should never decided to become their roommate, because I was young and stupid. When I was in college, so I went to college and I got my degree in math. I got my bachelor's in mathematics, pure straight math, which that in itself was a terrible idea, because companies out there, they don't like free thinker. They want pre-programmed people, basically. So I have the basis for all of the engineering disciplines. I just don't have the specifics of each engineering discipline. And a lot of companies, they're like, we don't want to teach anyone mechanical engineering. I'm like, well, I have a background in 3D modeling. I've got mathematics, so I do know about stressors. I've got statics and physics and electronics, except my degree says math. And they're like, we'd rather have a mechanical engineer or an electrical engineer. I'm like, cool. And they're like, but you can have you can have this computer science degree. And I'm like, that's the one thing that I did not do. But anyways, when I was in college, they were my roommate, and I was isolated from all my peers in college. So I didn't have any friends in college, which sucks, because you go from classes and you go from class to class. You don't have any people you can talk to about the homework. You don't have any people to vent to about the stresses. So I tried venting to my roommate about like, oh man, I'm stressed out. I've got this exam coming up. I've got this test coming up. I've got to get this homework done by this time. And they're like, why is it important? I'm like, all right, so let me try to explain. Let me give you some context as to why the concepts are difficult. And they're like, just shut the fuck up. I don't care about this stuff. In fact, you talking about this makes me feel stupid. So I would prefer it if you do not talk about any of this around me. I was like, so I'm not allowed to talk about my struggles or stressors in college getting a degree because it's one of your triggers. So it's been a long struggle where there's been an accumulation of topics I am not allowed to discuss in my own home with the only person I am physically in contact with, because it's their trigger. I am not allowed, fun fact, I am not allowed to talk about lifting at home. Lifting is my passion. I'm not allowed to talk about programming. I'm not allowed to talk about squatting, benching, deadlifting, lifting. I'm not allowed to show or share lifting videos at home because it's one of their triggers. Because when they were into lifting, they associated themselves with me and hated that people said, "Oh, you're Patrick's roommate." And so they quit lifting and have been drilling into me that I am the reason they don't lift anymore. And it's now a trigger for them to know that I lift, and have multiple times. So back in, was it either 2020 or 2021, back when we had the lockdown, I was prepping for a meet in Natick, and my program called for 1,000-pound squat in training. I missed it, tore my quad. The exuberation and celebration that I witnessed when I informed them of this, and that I would not be competing in, 4 weeks after that, has stuck with me. And I was banned from competing. So 3 weeks later, I got invited to a meet, and the meet director was like, "Hey, do you want to do bench only? I know you're not good for squats right now, but do you want to do bench only?" I was like, "Hell yeah, I'm already peaked. I'm peaked right now. So of course I'd like to do a bench only. I don't want to waste an entire training block, so let me do a bench only." And they're like, "Cool." And that is when I set my current all-time PR of 635. But I got the same injury in my left pec, fascial micro tears, that I had in my quad. And trying to hide that fact, because I was banned from competing from my roommate, was very difficult. And it wasn't until they got too rough with me at home that I had to disclose my injury. And then I got a verbal lashing for having competed while being banned from competing from my roommate's decree. So that was a little bit of extra context in my my life that you probably didn't know, and I hope that you guys, I don't know what you're gonna learn from that, other than, hey, this YouTube thing is a little more than just making videos to stay relevant. It's to vent, and the whole purpose of the exchange between the internet and myself is, what is it, a coping mechanism, or I don't know, I don't want to say I don't have physical friends. I don't have a lot of friends that I can I don't have anyone that I can go out and like go have dinner with, or go to a movie with, or hang out with. There are people at my gym that have offered, but I haven't felt, I'm banned from doing that. So, yeah. So, but it's like every time I compete, it's like I'm escaping something, and I have a really good time. So, traveling to compete in like Miami or Virginia, where we get a bunch of muscleheads together and we just all have a good time, it's really, I don't want to say eye-opening, but it's really cool and really awesome. And that's what I try to replicate with these videos, because I talk about lifting and all the things going on in my life, and I try to share that with you guys to give contextual information on how I'm doing physically, mentally on the day of, so that you can kind of be like, all right, so he feels this, but he still went to the gym, he still was able to do this. So I feel this way, I feel a similar way. If he can do it, I can do it too, kind of thing. But anyways, I have arrived at the gym. It is time to go lift. We've got reverse grip lat pull down, head supported rear delt flies, incline dumbbell bench, superset with itself, chest supported zero acceleration row, seesaw rows, And then we've got curls and curls, but heavier curl, lighter curls and heavier curl. That's what we got going on. So stop wasting gas, and we're gonna get in there, boys. What's a shame is nobody out there clapping lean beef patty's cheeks. It's like cooking the tastiest steak known to mankind for it to sit in a museum where no one's allowed to touch it. Woo-wee, call me a sorority girl, because that training day was mid as fuck. But like, that's to be expected. So priming day started off with the reverse grip lat pull down, trying to emphasize the stretch at the top and a slow eccentric control of the weight down to increase the amount of hypertrophy going on. And we did, so it was 4 sets of 12, 2 minutes rest, and the last set I got a pretty good hypoxic response, and I was able to set up and go into the head supported rear delt fly supersetted with push-ups, and I had the dumbbells a little closer on the push-ups, and it hit the chest a little differently, stretched out a different part of the chest, because the main idea of this day is stretching under a load. So getting that emphasized stretch at the, I guess it's the top of the reverse grip lat pull down, is going to stretch out the biceps and the lats, specifically the wings, a little better than just a regular neutral grip lat pull down. And feeling that squeeze. So I like to emphasize the squeeze at the bottom because I like that mind-muscle connection. I'm building those neural connections a little bit better so that I can activate them and almost on will, like teach yourself. Like, remember when you were younger, and or it could have been when you were older, and you realized you could pop your titties, and then you taught yourself how to pop your titties, and like you built that connection. Or it's like being able to wiggle your ears, like when you figure out what body movement causes your ears to wiggle, and then you're able to do one ear at a time. I can only do my left ear. It's been a while since I practiced how to wiggle my ears, and I'm very left face oriented. I can do the rock eyebrow with only my left eyebrow. I can't do it with my right eyebrow. So kind of things like that. Building the mind-muscle connection allows you to kind of tap into that a little more easily and develop those muscles to much greater extents in a healthier manner, as well as being able to kind of touch on those when you need it in the lifts, the compound lifts like squat, bench, and deadlift, when you need it. So it's a good idea to kind of get that squeeze, even though it doesn't increase the amount of muscle growth that you develop, because 55% of the muscle growth you get is from the eccentric of the lift, and that squeeze, I mean, it's 45%, but I mean, it's a good indicator when you can really tap into that feeling. That's a good indicator that you're getting you're doing the movement right, and you're going to be building muscle. When you can feel that squeeze, a nice pinch, and then you can also feel a nice stretch. That means that you're doing it right. So the head supported rear delt flies, I usually do these with 25s, but someone was using the 25s and someone else was using the 30s, so I wasn't going to jump up 10 pounds on those, because that would have blown me harder than Monica Lewinsky back in the Oval Office. So I opted to go down to the 20s. It wasn't that good of a stretch, but I did get a good pump. I got a good hypoxic response going on, and I already talked about moving the dumbbells closer to hit a different part of the chest with the stretching. And then we moved on to the dumbbell bench press, incline dumbbell bench press, supersetted, set of 20 plus a 6 count eccentric or slow eccentric, because counting is hard. Is it 6 count? I know it's a slow eccentric. I don't really count when I do it. I just go, how slow can I possibly do this and still be able to finish this set? So the incline dumbbell bench smacked me in the face for, I don't know why or how, but we had a lot of accumulative fatigue today, probably because we took your favorite lifters total and repped it for 4 to 5 last week, so we are more fatigued right now, and that's gonna trickle into the rest of the week too, where we're not gonna be lifting super heavy this week, especially as we prep to go to Elite FTS to be on the table talk, and we've got a couple training sessions out in Ohio that I told my coach that we should be planning for, because it'll be cool to be at Elite FTS and have a couple training days under my belt out there. So the incline. So first set, I was really strict with everything. I mean, I'm really strict with all the sets, but as the hypoxic response kind of sets in, I get a little quicker with the lockouts. I get a little quicker here, a little quicker there, and I'm really, the reps in reserve was dwindling pretty fast. It was a 4x20 plus 6, 90 seconds rest, and I was talking to myself, I was like, man, I need a little bit more rest before the last set, and I was like, wait, no, it's the last set. Because the last set's gonna, I mean, last set can have 0 reps in reserve, and it's not gonna affect any sets after it, because, you know, it's the last set. So we opted to just do it as prescribed, which, like, when you're not in the zone, you're like, that sounds stupid, and like, you should have been doing that the whole time. But it's like that's the mental, so, like, sometimes you're just not mentally there. You're like, man, I got a 6x2. Okay, fine. So I'll do a set. I'll do 2 sets. I'm almost halfway there. Let me do 3 sets. I'm already halfway there. I mean, there's only 3 sets left. I mean, there's 2 sets left after 4 sets. You know what? We just got 1 more set after we've done 5 sets. So it's like, it's almost like you're gaslighting yourself into actually succeeding in your goals. And I know there's some sort of psychological, actual phrasing that actually is that. But what was I talking about? The 4th set had 0 reps in reserve, and I was surprised at how fast that fatigue accumulated during those sets. Then we moved on to the chest-supported seesaw 0 acceleration incline row with the straps, and those got like really weird pumps. So I got a pump in my forearms for some reason. I was using straps, so that's a thing that shouldn't have happened. But also, I got almost like a rear delt pump going on too. So I was probably not in tuned enough with the pinching, which I should have been more in tuned. I was really focusing on getting the stretch, and I kind of the compress was kind of not there in my head, so I kind of overlaxed on that. And then we finished off with the dumbbell curls and curls. Curls and curls, but heavier. So the lighter curls, I'm trying to do a full supination the whole time, and it's really pulling my the dumbbells far out, almost like making a 45-degree angle with my armpit. And I'm like, that's a little weird, but I mean, okay. And I'm really trying to emphasize at least getting a lockout in my elbows, because that means that I'm getting a good stretch in my bicep. And I was watching my bicep stretch and compress through my t-shirt, which is something cool, because like I've always been fat and I've never been really able to watch that happen, and it's cool being able to see that now that I've done 1 cut and 1 bulk cycle, and we're kind of like maintaining going through until the meet. So after that, we did the heavier dumbbell curls, where we're just doing regular curls, where we're starting with a neutral grip, and we went from 15 pounds, 3x20, 30 seconds rest. Those bite the pillow, boys, because that is big Bubba BBC going in you, not even using lube. They're going in raw, and you might as well bite the pillow. And it's a surprise. It's a surprise. The hypoxic response really, yep. I mean, anything for 20 reps with only 30 seconds of rest is difficult. And then we moved on. We probably took like a 3 or 4 minute break after we set up for the next movement, which was dumbbell curls but heavier. We started off with a neutral position, and we tried to really get the dumbbells parallel with each other at the top, getting good supination going on, so that we can get into that, because the bicep is responsible for the bending of your arm, bending and straightening of your arm, as well as the supination and pronation of your forearms. So Hitting both of those concepts with the full supination, with the lighter bicep curls, and trying to emphasize the stretch in the bicep like that, as well as kind of build into that by having a top supination going in with the heavier bicep curls, is developing the biceps a lot better and a lot differently than I've done previously, and I can really feel the pump setting in. Now, bicep training is important because when you bench heavy, you get big forearm, you get big bicep, you can leverage forearm and bicep off each other, and it's more like a floor press because instead of tricep on floor, it's bicep on forearm, and bicep on forearm means very big bench. That's a Bill Kazmaier kind of cheat. It's not a cheat, it's just it's kind of like how fat guys suck at deadlifts because they struggle to get down to the bar. So if you build big enough biceps and big enough forearms, you're going to have a little bit better time leveraging those muscles when you're developing the bench press. Yeah, that's why I did my cut and bulk cycle, because I was fatter. I'm back to the same weight, but with a different body composition, and we're going to do it all over again after this meet, where we go back down and go back up. So trying to develop myself into a better lifter all around and not be a squat and bench specialist and rather be a total specialist. But I got to go inside. I've got dinner to cook. I have 100% missed a meal today. Not super happy about it, but it is what it is. So we're gonna cook up. So the meal I missed was 245 grams of chicken, 400 grams of rice, because I procrastinated way too long. What I'm gonna consume, so the other meal that I should be consuming right now should be 400 grams of rice, 70 grams of guacamole, and 220 grams of beef. On rest days, my last meal of the day is 8 ounces of pasta cooked with 220 grams of beef and 360 grams of pasta sauce with some cheese. That's not actually on the plan. That's just for me to not hate myself because I'm bulking. And it makes it, a little sugar makes the medicine go down. So I've got that. I've got another meal, which is going to be 4 crumpets with jelly. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit that meal in. I might have to kind of garlic bread that kind of style. Maybe, I don't know. Because I want a lot of carbs before I go to sleep so that the body goes into an insulin response, because you want that IGF-1 factor going into your system while your muscles are recovering so that you can develop more muscle fibers and be stronger, be bigger, and develop and build more muscles. So I'm going to do that rest day meal on this not rest day, because you also, so the way that fats affect your digestive system, so this is a fattier a meal. The rest day meal is a little bit more fattier. Carbs allow your body to hold on to a little bit more glycogen, and that means that you are more inflamed. You look bigger. Your muscles look bigger. So a lot of times when people go on like a carnivore diet and then they throw in some carbs, they're like, wow, I'm more well-rounded. So the way that fats affect the digestion of other macros is that it slows down the digestion a little bit. So adding in so last meal of the day, you want to sprinkle your macros into your system while you're sleeping. You want that insulin response. So you want a lot of carbs, but you also want fats to slow down the digestion of those carbs so that you have a longer insulin response, so that you get more of that, you get more exposure to the IGF-1 from the natural IGF-1 your body develops, produces, whatever. So you want more fats at night to slow down your digestion, but you don't want you don't want to feel bloated going to sleep, because then the amount of food that you've consumed is going to affect your sleep negatively. So there's a lot of factors going on. I have a nutritionist. I've been a bad boy today. I don't want to get yelled at, so I'm going to do a prescribed meal. My last meal of the day for a rest day, we're doing it today because it's also more calories. And I missed a meal. So that's the whole justification there. Do not tell her that I'm doing this. Let me tell her, and I'm not gonna. Anyways, I'm gonna go cook because I'm hungry. I'm hungry. You know who else is hungry? Buddy. But he's always hungry. Like father, like son. All right, boys, and as promised, we've got the bowl. We've got 8 ounces of pasta. Well, dry pasta before I cooked it. I have no idea what it weighs now that I've cooked it. About 400 grams of pasta sauce, because measuring pasta sauce is a chaotic endeavor. 225 grams of beef. I threw some red pepper flakes in there. Capsaicin will help with the salivation and satiation of the meal, and the cheese will cool it down a little bit too. And we've got one of those little icy things. And also, because I didn't learn my lesson earlier, we're also going to be watching. We are watching a Pokemon speedrun because I'm a fool. And last meal of the day, we've got 4 crumpets. Now, what's programmed is 2 bagels with fruit spread on them, but I calorie checked or calorie matched and confirmed with my nutritionist that this is okay. So growing up, I spent a significant amount of time in Belgium, and I was starting to believe that crumpets didn't exist. I remember having them as a kid, and then I was like, where'd they go? And then Market Basket had them, and I'm like, yes, none. They're nothing special, but they're special to me. So I'm gonna eat these and go to bed. So, signing off for the night. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell your mom that I forgot what she looks like. So if she could just DM me a picture of her boobs, it'd be real nice. Anyways, Patty out.